tickets where there's not too much to lose. But let's have a look at the draft so far, with Egoist opting to actually stay on the blue side of the draft. GameLab going to be taking the red.
And I think this matchup is one of those few that if you are GameLab, you are not too bothered which side you take. You kind of make priority for yourself anyways. Game 1 was kind of a complete mech check, a complete outclass by GameLab. But like you mentioned, Egoists have some good habits, and now we're just looking for them to polish it a bit more, right? Pounce on GameLab's mistakes, and GameLab disrespects you, you punish them hard.
Exactly. That's what I'm expecting to see from Egoist, and at least, you know, they're a little bit more awake. They're like, okay, let's sharpen up, let's tighten up our gameplay, let's follow our good habits, but most importantly, just identify the opportunities and not tunnel vision on it too hard. Now, again, the draft is going exactly how we expected. Same bans all across the board. The Hayabusa actually getting banned out this time by Egoist.
Kadita getting banned last by GameLab, so not much deviation, only the Ling being the outlier. Previously, Egoist banned Arlot, but now they would take it for themselves in the first phase. So it's too early to say whether this would be kind of like the tank Arlot or the usual snowbally Arlot, but
we'll see later on.
We'll see later on.
Yeah, and especially when it comes down to like emblems, I think that's the biggest giveaway. Now, the fact is, GameLabs, they're not gonna have Arlot. They're like, okay, whoop-de-doo, no big deal here. What are they going to start locking in, right? How do they actually deal with the Arlot? And a lot of it comes down to anti-CC, so Martis is already immediately a good pick. Do they care how much that Arlot can actually jump into the backline? They can technically go for a Kai if they even wanted to displace him after he dashes, because apparently you can't, you know, displace him during the dash. Makes no sense, but that's the situation.
Or you can just take the Grok and Faramis.
That works too.
Completely negates what the Arlot wants to do.
Exactly, and I think, you know, GameLab, very good ideas, but Egoist, they are fast on these picks. They know exactly what they want to play.
Definitely rehearse to a certain extent what Egoist, right? I think they came in with a game plan, and they recognize that, you know what, guys, let's just commit to what we want. So far, it's been going good. They get the Valentina and Claude for themselves this time, but GameLab has that Beatrix. Ooh, big late game carry.
Yeah, very big late game carry, and I think GameLab is even more confident to actually play it now, because again, you're playing Claude, okay, great. I can actually do something. Beatrix has a very good matchup against Claude in this particular situation. Will you expect Beatrix to get a kill? Probably only at level 4, but even then, Claude has a lot of useful tools to get in and out of fights, and more just clear the way for the Blazing Duet.
If we want long fights, I think we're definitely going to get it, because Valentina can also steal the Call Altar. Hanzo getting banned. Egoist at this point are just eliminating Assassin junglers.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad of an idea. GameLab even, banning out the Akai, making sure that there isn't, and right now, we're missing an enabler for the Arlot from the side of Egoist, and I think, you know, GameLab is taking the initiative to be, hey, let's first get rid of Kaja, super annoying, at least we can play, you know, maybe a Yve, but I think they just locked in Fredrin. They technically still can play the Yve if they wanted to, but Lancelot as well, so it's going to be 5 assassin bans for the side of Egoist.
Really want to shut down Takenaga, and I think the GameLab caught up halfway through the draft. While the Barats go through, and Estes, okay, well, a bit of a pseudo-Ube strat. I was looking at Egoist and thinking maybe the Martis would be an argument mark, and Martis feels like the one that can kind of cut through GameLab, ignore the crowd control, and set up the passive, but Egoist, what do you think about this?
I think, this is really interesting. This is really interesting, because it felt like GameLab wanted to eventually lock in the Yve. They saw the Valentina, and all of a sudden they're like, wait, hold on. They even have the Ube going with the Estes, so might as well get into Xavier, because they want to clump up anyways. We might as well try and punish them for clumping up as much as we can. So expect Beatrix to be doing a good amount of damage in this particular game. I think, you know, the Grok is rather interesting to set up some interesting angles. However, Egoist, Arlot, there's not too many enablers on the team. 2 forms of CC, one with the missiles coming in from JH, and DYY with the Terrify, but even then, they're not very reliable to get off. So, Vendetta, he's got a lot of work on his hands.
I suppose if you really want to invade the jungle and put pressure on Takenaga early on, this is one of the ways. Just pick up a Raz, have an Esther, just run in and
just walk on in, you know, hit me, I don't care. I'll build up stacks regardless. But so far, GameLab on match point here in our upper brackets, round of 16, match number 7, with Egoist on the blue side, as GameLabs is going to be on the red.
A lot of focus to really get JH ahead. Just get this Baraz as far ahead as possible so you can at least have a pivot point. But it's a Havos on the Grok XP lane. So there goes Vendetta's lane.
Yeah, I mean, it's really sad. It's really sad. As soon as the Power Nature comes up, the Demon Mark disappears.
Yeah. Can't out damage him, can't out trade him. Though Vendetta is going for the Assassin Arlot, so that's kind of what we talked about earlier on. JH though getting pushed back, rooted down as well by the Xavier. And as for his blood, complete disaster. DYY also
Gonna get one more.
gonna go down. Oh, dashes away. Okay, Vendetta, can you get something? Oh yes, he can. Petrify coming up. Good use. 1-for-1 trade.
Yep. Overall, it's looking really, really good here. At least for Vendetta, he gets a kill back, so it does mean that he can actually, you know, do some work here. He took high and dry as well as Petrify, so he wants a snowball out of control, but it can be a little difficult against Grok overall. Just high base damage. And it's just, he can cleanse the mark technically. It's so annoying.
She says too many get out jail free card for Grok. Though I would say Martis has a better version of that.
Well, I mean, Martis does have a better version, but let's see how UTC is going to be playing this out. He sees Rio, he dashes backwards. Okay, really good. But this is, like, really sad for specifically JH, right? JH and as well as Takenaga. Because of that overall interaction, Takenaga will be able to invade first, so he will get the EXP lead, while JH, fortunately, even though he died and got an assist at the end of the day, will be behind ever so slightly on EXP.
All things considered, both of them have a equal net worth, right? Despite JH did going down, it might. Nah, you're not gonna see this turtle for sure. JH walking in, he's gonna get dragged away from the turtle. Not gonna be able to get it. The stolen call altar keeping him alive. But GameLab now also pops their own call altar, and they just slay the dinosaur. Takenaga stands his ground and fight. Dortmund flickers forwards, drags two members of Egoist back. Vendetta, he's in the backline, but he's in enemy lines to sweep onto three of them, but where's the damage? They need a bit more. Takenaga gets taunt off. Hervos walking out of it slowly, but surely the reset for Vendetta. My god, this guy queues back up, and they get two.
Oh my goodness, what a... Alright, good outplay coming out from Vendetta. That Petrify really making an allowing him to enable himself in that fight with the help of Azura, topping him off each and every time. Unkillable for the most part in this early game.
You'll get a bit of that extra goal from that turret shield. And the boss comes back up. DIY actually doesn't have mana, so, well, the dash just came back up, but forced the flicker anyway.
Yep, forced the flicker, which is really good. I mean, GameLab, I don't think they were expecting the outplay like that to actually occur. They had everything going for them at that point of time, but Azura, woo, keeping his team alive in that situation, even though it was about to hit the fan.
The only one having a rough game is definitely JH, right? It's 0-2 on the Barats.
Yeah, it's annoying because he has to keep on restacking the Barats every time he dies. He becomes a little dinosaur and then has to try and do something, but the top side is like always compromised because of Takenaga.
Oh, here he is, Vendetta. Can you get an angle? Has to petrify. He's coming in. Good flank angle. Sweeps two of them aside. Forcing the flicker from Aizawa. Her force now caught in the thick of things, but GameLab just re-engages. Call Alta. Appraisal's Ravel. They hit on the tree. Egoist getting a good counter engage, her boss dropping low, Vendetta getting the slam of the spear onto Dogman, and now Dogman's gonna get gone on, but he's just gonna phantom dash over the wall. Doesn't matter though, Vendetta follows up, killing spree for the Arlot.
Oh, once again, Vendetta is still alive. The disrespect coming out from GameLabs finally getting punished with these big plays coming from Vendetta. Vendetta. I keep trying to call him Vendetta as if it's Vendetta. It's a bad habit. Vendetta continues to show that he is doing a lot of work with this Arla as long as he finds that good counter engage.
JH contesting this turtle, loses it.
What?
You don't see this every day.
I don't think JH was ready for Yuktz to actually spam it down. His retribution, he is still like, what just happened?
Rough game so far. Dogman, oh, terrified. Drag DYY, not under the tower range. Turret range though.
I think for the time being, GameLab can kind of take their time, right? Because they're not really getting too far ahead against Egoist, and it's really hard to punish them because Egoists are defaulting on their fundamental strengths. And when you're playing something like Estes, for an example, it becomes very easy to recover from bad positions.
Yeah, you have a free fountain.
Yeah, you have a mobile fountain.
You do. Definitely a bit of responsibility on the Hervos to perhaps get that flicker engage, take out the Estes early on, but well, again, jungle getting pressure, DYY dragged back. They forcing the flicker out. DYY getting away. Takinaga though in danger. They build a wall. Her boss is there. Does have his ultimate wall. They gobble Takinaga. I'll spin him into a wall. Do they have enough damage though? They all get knocked up by her boss. Oh my god. Dogman just comes in clutch with the ult. Vendetta is gone. They threw everything to kill this Fredrin, but they end up losing anyway.
The disrespect on Fredrin's aim. Like, I'm surprised Vendetta actually chased him so far. Rio, Azura ends up going down. GameLab making a name for themselves.
Doltman, absolute savior for that skirmish. Of course, just nonchalantly walks away. There's no one that can stop the grog, honestly.
Dude, here's the thing. Vendetta tries to actually commit this kill on towards Takinaga. He's just waiting for him to try and use his the Appraiser's Wrath so that he can cancel it with his own ult, but he just holds on to it. Like, Takinaga just holds on to his ult for so long and waits for Vendetta to actually run out of dashes so he can't dash behind him to get the full Appraiser's Wrath damage. That is just, like, disrespectful.
That's the mind games.
It's the mind games.
They have stopped the snowball from Vendetta. Almost a 3k goal advantage for GameLab right now. Uh-oh, Dogman. Yeah, it's gonna get punished. Vendetta getting a bit of a revenge. They do lose the bot tier 1, but now they can contest this turtle. Does Egoist get it? Oh, Takinaga wins the retry fight again. Her voice just gets away. Takinaga also walks out.
Yeah, now the marksmans are getting involved in these overall team fights, and that could be a scary thing, especially for GameLabs here, because again, Pingu has the overall AoE damage that Egoist has been lacking in these 4v4s. Oh, Vendetta!
Oh my god, Yuktisi almost just snipes him, and DYY goes down. Bit of a desync. Dolman is just gonna run to the jungle, or almost connect onto Azura, but her Voss can definitely contest this.
Oh, they're gonna need to clean up comms. Oh, he runs out of power nature!
Oh, and the power to use as well. Her boss still alive. It's gonna be suppressed, and now uses it all to dash away. Vendetta cannot follow up.
I get what you mean when you say desync, because right now Egoist kind of look like they're all over the place, and that was like a really big missed opportunity to actually kill Xbot, try to kill, Havas at that point of time. But again, it feels like right now only Vendetta is playing the game. Everybody else is kind of just walking around and struggle to decide what they can do. And unfortunately, JH can't give that sort of leadership because he himself is significantly behind in comparison to Takinaga.
DYY, can you at least find Dogman? No, can't do it. I think the initial idea is very clear-cut, right? Stick to the barrage, keep him alive, dominate the early to mid game. But Azura has to make a choice. Do I top Pingu up? Do I give Vendetta the HP so that he can snowball? And so much decisions to make. Egoist, they are just desperate to get something done. And with Vendetta going down, DYY also getting sniped from downtown. This game is clearly going off the ropes. They just lost Azura as well.
Yeah, they are not sure what they should be doing at this stage of the game, and especially with the way that they need to play defensively. They're just handing over these kills. GameLab just taking full advantage of the situation and the disorientation that Egoist is currently experiencing. It's tough to make a call in this spot because it feels like every move you do, you get punished for it, and you're not getting away with as much as you'd like to. However, Egoist needs to start thinking about team fights in the bigger sense. The main damage dealers here, Tupai and as well as Aizawa, need to go down at the very least.
If you want to keep everyone safe, you end up losing everyone. Right? Someone has to be able to take the beating. But the sad part is they cannot get any exchange. Her Voss isn't a good target, and during the draft, you did mention that Egoist doesn't have much lockdown. That is a big problem when you want to deal with someone like a Fredrin or a Groff. They do terrify him. They lock him down with the Petrify, they gobble him up. Dogman comes in with the Cult Altar again. They just cannot get rid of Takinaga, but a good blazing duet. Is this enough? Yes, it is. Wow, the Dawning Light piercing through all 5 of them, and this is Yuktisi's turn to shine. The barrage of bullets just overwhelms Egoist, and through all of that, they still lose.
I respect the call coming in from Egoist. They found the opportunity to actually fight. They get an initial good fight as they take down Takinaga. Unfortunately, they just don't have the resources to deal with GameLab, and especially with the amount of battle spells that they have, they continue to press their advantage.
Oh, Vendetta? No outplay. So close.
He misses the dash on Aizawa. Oh, that's so unfortunate. And now Lord's coming in as well.
In an even game, Egoist would have been able to hold on so much better, right? This is definitely kind of that resource deficit that is hurting them a lot.
Yeah,
have to do with ESPORT.
they're just feeling that 8K goal differential, and that's an unfortunate thing, because previously it was only 5, and you can recover from a 5, however, you need to know when your item power spikes are. GameLab, as soon as they got their item power spikes, they immediately started to run at Egoist, hoping that they would fight.
Oh, boss, you don't have to do them dirty. They have lost Azura, no more Fountain, and then we're good attempt from Pingu, I guess.
And they're trying their absolute best here, but GameLab has got them beat, pulling them back with a Shadow Stampede, and it's not— oh, there we go!
What? Yuktezi just walks under the inhibitor, gives his life away. They still lost DYY. Vendetta and JH is up to both of them now. The GameLab still deciding to hang around a bit more. They are confident that they can do more damage to this base. The boss being kind of that brick wall. Azura is back. Naizawa also just poking from afar. This is GameLab putting Egoist in a chokehold.
Yeah, it's a pretty nasty chokehold as well, because by the time the Lord spawns, GameLab technically would have already made it to the no, they lose everything.
Oh my goodness.
Even get the orange buff as well. Aizawa, well, he's doing him real dirty, but now revenge! Vendetta, the only person who has the farm and the items to take these carries out.
And you're starting to see kind of like the lack of attention to detail just because of so much pressure, right? Red Tree has enough cooldown to get the orange buff, doesn't secure it. And just so many micro moments. And with Vendetta going down, they have lost the ability to properly fight. Takenaga, he just runs in. Oh, Azura getting sniped from afar. Immortality pop. Takenaga still in the front line, still holding on to that ult. Doesn't even need it. He is just showing Egoist that he doesn't even need to do too much. JH taking the full brunt of GameLab. And this is as clean as it can get. GameLab still unchallenged. Throughout their run from the Open Final to the Challenge stage, the first best of 3 was a clean 2-0.
Yep, they played a solid game. The Ego challenged the Egoists themselves and put them down to the lower brackets. Well done to GameLab.
This is why MDL has to fear them, right? They have been dominating Tier 2 scene for so long, and here they are, keeping that streak going.